So welcome to the first live stream of Assassin's Creed Rogue. Now, a couple of disclaimers before we get things started. First and foremost, if you're wondering why, it's working. If you're wondering why I'm playing on the Xbox 360, even though Assassin's Creed Rogue is backwards compatible, there is a glitch when playing backwards compatible games where it's common for your game to crash when you're playing it, and if that happens, it can mess up your progression. I've had a couple times when I had to replay Assassin's Creed 1 when I was playing backwards 3 times for 100% each time, because the first time the Templar accounts got glitched after sorry, my computer just made an application. First time I didn't get the achievement for killing all the Templars because a Templar counter was glitched after my game crashed. Second time I didn't get the achievement for getting all the flags because a flag count glitched because my game crashed. And the third time I was being really fucking OCD and making sure that whenever a game crashed, no matter where I am in the game, I immediately quit out of the main menu and reload, quit out to the home screen and reload the game once I'm reconnected to Xbox Live. So I do not want to have to do any repeat playthroughs of this game because my game has crashed when I'm playing this on Xbox Series X. So I'm playing this on the original 360. For those curious, Sim Speed Pass, which is another series I am doing on this channel, is not backwards compatible, so I am forced to play that on 360 regardless. Now, since we starting a new series, let's go ahead and go over some of the achievements. And before we get started, I do have one more disclaimer to make, and that is Ubisoft has officially closed down support for this game. They so let me just go ahead and quit out of this. So I can't log into Uplay and get the rewards for that, but I'm pretty sure they will be free. I was able to connect to Ubisoft Connect on the Xbox Series X, and I do have all the rewards for Ubisoft Connect. And Ubisoft Connect copies the rewards over from Uplay onto that platform. So I'm hoping that I get the rewards when I start in the game. I also bought the DLC, Templar Legacy, which gives us a couple new missions, so we should be able to have some additional content we could do. Now let's go ahead and go over the achievements. So the achievements that I have gotten was capture all settlements, get the native armor, complete all native hills and ice caves, complete sequence 5, capture all forts, complete an outpost without getting detected, complete 35 Abstergo challenges, break through 500 meters of ice sheets, complete present 3, complete sequence 4, complete every activity in a single location, complete sequence 3, complete present 2, complete sequence 2, survive a reverse boarding. We will likely be doing that many times over in this playthrough. Complete sequence 1 and complete present 1. The achievements we need to unlock before the end of the series is complete sequence 6, complete the final glitched memory, complete the game, and this is a secret achievement. Let me see if I can pull up my Xbox Smart Glass so I can try to figure out like what. I should have this app still. I just need to figure out what this achievement is. Because unfortunately, the Xbox 360 does not give me the option to reveal a achievement. At least I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. So just give me a moment. And 1 second, I need to enter my password. Okay, so I think we go into profile, maybe? Achievements. Assassin's Creed Rogue. I guess we will find out later, or alternatively, I guess I can't actually reveal the thing, but let me just go ahead and pull up the achievement list for Assassin's Creed Rogue. So I think this one is complete present 4. Because that's a secret achievement that I don't have. Then we have achieve 100% in all main missions. Complete all gang HQs. Counter kill 30 stalkers. Complete all renovations. Fully upgrade the Morrigan. Loot 20 supply camps. Loot 20 ship convoys. Counter 20 smoke bombs successfully using a gas mask. Hold on. Repair all computers in Abstergo Entertainment. Visit every location in the game. Get the Templar armor. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to pull up my playlist that I created for YouTube that just kind of goes over what I'm going to be doing for the series. That's the next thing I want to talk about. Complete 17 story missions in the Naval campaign. Collect all Animus fragments. All legendary ship battles completed. Destroy 100 icebergs. Free 300 British POWs. Harpoon a narwhal. Counter 15 air surprise attacks. Hit 5 enemies with the berserk grenade. Put 5 enemies to sleep with the sleep grenade at the same time. Complete all assassin interceptions. Sink 10 ships in the North Atlantic without dying while only the hunted cheat is active. Sink 10 ships in the North Atlantic without dying while only the endurance cheat is active. Take over 10 large supply camps while only the veterans cheat is active. And kill 30 guards without dying while only the endurance cheat is active. Now, one final thing that I will talk about before we will start the game is what I will be covering in this series. What I consider to be necessary for 100% completion. In this playthrough, I will be getting 100% in all main missions. 100% synchronization in all missions. I will be collecting all chests, all Animus fragments. I will be synchronizing all viewpoints. I will be collecting all secrets. I will be completing all locations. I will clear all assassins' dens, liberate all forts, complete all challenges, defeat all legendary ships, fully upgrade the Morrigan, collect all the outfits, all the weapons, and craft all the upgrades, complete all naval missions, complete all assassin interceptions, complete all hunting missions, unlock all database entries, earn all achievements, hack all Abstergo PCs, and collect all Abstergo collectables. As per usual, if there's anything you feel that I should get that you feel like is necessary for 100% completion, or you simply just want me to show off, feel free to leave me in a comment in the video when this is uploaded onto my YouTube channel. In the meantime, let's probably go ahead and start things off. This will be labeled 100. Give me 1 second. Oh, this is loading.
Stay my blade from the flesh of the innocent. Hide in plain sight. Never compromise the Assassin Brotherhood. These are the tenets of the Creed, the principles I used to live by. I was a young man then. The 7 Years' War was about to begin. I could not have imagined what the future had in store for me, nor the cost I would choose to bear. My name is Shay Patrick Cormac. This is my story.
So there is something I want to do real quick because I feel like that the audio is actually pretty low. So let me just go ahead and turn up the audio just a little bit. Really do apologize for this. And I should make it a little bit more clear. I didn't realize that the audio was that low. I was just testing the audio to see how clearly the voices are coming through. Because this is a dialogue heavy game and I do want people to be understand what's being said. So I just turned up the volume a little bit.
Well, we won't lack for firewood at least.
Admit it, I nearly had you.
Nearly counts for nothing, Shay. And besides, no. That was just luck.
I make my own luck, Liam.
You've been saying that for years, but you've precious little to show for it. Or have you been spending it all getting out of trouble?
Well, you know, trouble just follows me around.
Let's head back.
Okay. So I do not believe there are any...
Captain Deliver Andre and his crew must have run into some trouble. Who knew meeting with smugglers would lead to no good?
I do not believe there's any optional objectives for this mission.
I don't understand why you can't tell me what we're doing here.
Because Chevalier decided not to tell you.
I thought we were friends, Liam.
We are, but this is business. It doesn't concern you, Shay.
Also, I've been kind of realizing this is the first time I ever had to like hold down the right trigger for an extended period of time. Because I sadly was not
Am I going too fast for you?
I'm just keeping an eye on you, in case you fall down and hurt yourself.
I sadly was not able to utilize it, and I literally have no reason to hold down the right trigger on Sims 3 Pets. But it does seem like that the right trigger, you really need to hold it down in order for it to go down all the way, which is kind of unfortunate. We are going to hold off on exploring until after we come back here later. So I realize I'm passing a lot of collectibles. We're not going to worry about getting the collectibles now because we won't be able to explore everything just yet. We will literally desynchronize if we go way too far.
Where the hell were you two?
We were out hunting. What happened here?
My men were attacked by some English sea dogs.
Why, Captain Joseph. Couldn't you fight them all off by yourself like you're always saying?
It is Capitaine Louis-Joseph Gauthier, Chevalier de la Vérendrye. And you are dreaming if you think any training could make you into a proper assassin. Do you even know what that means? It means being responsible for an ancient and proud tradition. It means obeying your mentor without question. How else will we ensure freedom for the human race?
Them's pretty words, Chevalier. But I don't feel too free at the moment.
Well then, feel educated! You irresponsible wretch. Viens, viens. You simpleton. You rot-brained cabbage farmer.
Gentlemen, stop! We got a common enemy, and I reckon he's close.
The Royal Navy attacked my vessel and forced my men to flee. We are stranded, and what is worse, the smugglers we were supposed to meet have been taken prisoner.
Shay and I'll free those smugglers. You, treat your wounded.
Just kind of realized, is Liam also Irish?
Take these. You'll need them.
Just judging by his accent, it kind of sounds similar to Shay's. I know Shay Cormac is Irish, but is Liam also Irish? I just kind of started thinking about that.
Tread with care, Shay. The Royal Navy will be ready for us. Remember your training.
Ah, here you are.
Ready to teach him a lesson?
They don't stand a chance.
Where are your mates now, you bilge rat? Talk before I bash out your brains! Oh, no, not another one! We will find them and let them bury what's left of you. Fresh, too. There you are!
I honestly didn't think that he would see me.
Tread with care, Shay. The Royal Navy will be ready for us. Remember your training. Ready to teach him a lesson?
They don't stand a chance.
Where are your mates now, you bilge rat? Talk before I bash out your brains! We will find them and let them bury what's left of you.
Come on, dumbass.
Keep an eye out, lads! Their pals are still out there somewhere!
There he goes again.
Okay. So we got 2 more left. We're so good for the optional objective, yes. So it's kind of unfortunate. It's just something that I kind of realized is the guy that I was using to just kind of scout ahead on the future missions. It's not exactly accurate. So they didn't even tell me about these optional objectives, so I'll be trying to find them out on my own.
Happy hunting, lads! Set her ablaze! Sink that French vessel! He's no match for you! Ha ha! Yeah! Yeah!
Back to the ground with ya. Guys, the bastard's running. Hey, come back! Are you furious? Come back here and face us like a man. Oh no, you don't. Come back. Hey, come back! Are you furious? Can't look all day. It's not about.
Okay, there's one. It'll wait until this guy turns around. And there you go. And we're done. That should be 100% synchronization.
was saving those fellas for you.
Very thoughtful.
I'm really like.
Completely useless shape.
I'll hold this thought.
Speaking of useless, those blockheads won't be needing this vessel anymore.
This pile of mail. You want her, Shay? She is yours. Now bring me back to my ship.
I will say that of this game, this game does have some really cool looking assassin robes.
Shay. Go on. Take the wheel. Some of the men you rescued agreed to join us.
I think the one I like the most.
I'm not so certain about their captain, but next to me, you are the most experienced sailor in the Brotherhood, Shay. Besides, we could use another vessel, even this pitiful one.
I think the one I like the most is actually probably Chevalier's, because I just kind of like the look of it. You see a lot of sea shanties playing this, so unfortunately
Fine, ain't she? My own ship.
we will not be able to have sea shanties playing to avoid copyright.
With a lick of paint and a few new cannons, she'll look as fine as anything on the seven seas.
Shall we begin, Captain?
As soon
Indeed, mate.
as we get the opportunity to free roam,
She's a mess, but she's still afloat. And her name's the Morrigan.
Morrigan? That silly fairy queen who ruined Maryland, the wise? Oh, she's perfect.
I'll hold this
for
thought
you.
once again. As soon as we get the, as soon as we get ability to,
Halves of the souls of fallen warriors.
as soon as we get the ability to travel, do any free roam thing, then we'll just be going back and exploring. As soon as we get the ability to do free roam, I should say.
A ship! Shit! They will sink her!
Let's put the Morrigan to the test, Captain Shay.
Ready for battle, men! Fire!
Crumbling into the sea!
Fire! Stop them, Boyd!
Fire!
It's a brig! Royal Navy! They're all alone, sir!
Fire!
There you go.
This vessel is battle ready after all. I will return to what is left of Le Guerfou. It's a long way home, and we have repairs to do.
Sing hearty, lads. Chevalier is pleased with us.
For those curious, this will be a full 3-hour live stream.
You have me set, Shay.
Time to report back to the mentor. Wouldn't you agree?
Wise words, Captain. Wise words.
Typically there will be like a song playing here, but music disabled for copyright, so.
What the hell did you do? It's some kind of dormant virus? Shit. Hang on, I'm getting you out of there. Sorry for the rough exit. Earpiece working, check. You were just in an Animus. Animus, yes? You were using it to access a genetic memory file in Helix labeled Shay Cormac? You work for Abstergo Entertainment, remember? Any of this ringing a bell? Your session triggered something bad, and it's affecting the whole building. We need to find your boss. You haven't forgotten your boss, have you? Melanie LeMay, zipper, chipper, overachiever? Here, take your communicator, check it if you got lost. Now let's get out of here.
So this is our first time.
Double time.
I'll once again like hold
This
my
chaos
thoughts
is
until this
absolutely your fault, in case
dialogue
you're
is over.
wondering.
Just like we practiced in our safety drills. Everything is gonna be okay, guys. Stay positive. What the hell is happening?
A file labeled Shay Cormac was booby-trapped with some kind of virus.
Your job is to prevent things like this.
We need to contain these genetic memories, then we can destroy them.
No. Isolate them. I want to study these memories.
But
With respect, Miss LeMay, this is not a request.
You heard the man.
Fine.
I need to borrow your numbskull. That okay with you, Ms. LeMay?
Hey there, this might seem a bit weird, but you're gonna work for contractors we hired to, you know, upgrade our security. Mr. Ottoberg and Miss Violet DaCosta.
Call me Violet.
I have to go check on our people and prepare a statement for the press. Do whatever they tell you to do, okay? Go team!
Technically, you're not responsible for this, but you're the one who let the virus out, so I think it's only fair you help me clean it up. Mr. Berg wants us to relive Shay's genetic memories. To do that, we need to access them from Helix. But the Helix is down. We'll have to reboot the main servers in the basement.
Do we have access to hacking already?
Man, whoever designed this virus is a genius. Not only does it restrict our access to the cloud, it's adapted to fuck up the other operating systems that regulate building functions. Melanie? The elevators are out of commission. Are we stuck on this floor?
Damn, yes. I'll get a repair crew on site ASAP.
There's a working area server on this floor. I guess that'll have to do for now.
Agent DaCosta, I want regular updates on your progress with Shay's genetic memories.
Why? He's just a nobody as far as I can tell.
If Shay Cormac is who I suspect he is, then this temporary setback may provide us with an unexpected reward. Proceed to the server room on this floor.
So, as per usual, let me just go ahead and pause right here to like get through my basic thing. I'm gonna be handling the notes picked up through I'm gonna handling the tablets and the collectibles I find in the modern day, very similar to how I handled it in the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, where because it automatically puts me in the thing in viewing the note, it no longer marks it as new, it marks it as read. So as such, if I come back later to try and like, read the entries that I previously have read, previously have found, I should say, it'll be hard for, especially hard for me later on down the in the future for me to find things that I have not read because they'll be blending into the things I have. So for that reason, for every single collectible we find every single document that we find in Abstergo when we're live streaming it on, well, I guess on Twitch, I will be reading each entry out. So I do understand there may be people out there who may be watching that do not find reading lore to be that interesting, and I do apologize. This is really meant for completion's sake. And also, I do really love reading the lore of any game because it kind of gives you more insight into the characters and into the world of the game. So, with that being said, really do apologize if any of you watching on Twitch are tired, may get like bored of this, you may like get tired and just switch off, but I'm just doing this for YouTube's sake because there are people out there that do like the lore as much as I do. And I feel like that it will be kind of like interesting for me to read this stuff out loud just to save people the time from pausing it repeatedly. Just so like as I'm scrolling through this thing. So, to Robert Fraser, CC, Aiden St. Clair, Victoria Bibeau. I never really knew what CC means. From Melanie LeMay, date June 18th, 2014. Subject Arnold Dorian. He is a protagonist of Assassin's Creed Unity. Hi Robert, you come highly recommended and I'm thrilled to have you in our studio. I'm putting you to work on a special project for me. Your subject is Arnold Dorian. His story takes place during the French Revolution. I want you to explore every avenue of his life that you can. The goal is to have a new blockbuster to present to Abstergo Brass next year. As such, this is super classified. Your direct supervisor will be Aiden St. Clair CC'd. You can only discuss the project with Aiden or myself, as you'll probably be logging some overtime in your Animus. I've added a mandatory weekly meeting with our psychiatrist, Dr. Bibeau, CCO. Is Bibeau that doctor girl that died in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or is she someone else? I don't know if she's the same person. She may not be. But it sounds familiar. To make sure you're not suffering from any bleeding effect. Welcome to Abstergo Entertainment. Don't let me down. Melanie LeMay. So I don't know. I mean, I should look this up because I'm legitimately curious. I could have sworn Victoria Bebo was a character that died at the end of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and she was actually like a... And she was actually a protagonist. That's not what I want, but okay. Oh, maybe this will still tell me. I'm legitimately curious right now. Yeah, Victoria Bebo. Oh, I guess she defected in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Okay, well, I learned something new. I guess maybe if they did tell me that she worked for Abstergo, I didn't catch it. That's interesting. So I just wanted to like look through that because I completely, because she sounded like really familiar to me. To Jean-Francois Brunette from Melanie LeMay, date August 17, 2014, subject Laureano Torres. I don't know how to say this politely, so please don't think this is anything personal or reflection of you or your work. You're a star. But I think doing an entire virtual feature about Laureano Torres is the single most boring pitch that's ever come across my desk. Sorry, Melanie LeMay.
Workstation back to Helix. In theory, if you align the beams to segments of the core, it should solve the problem. But here's where it gets tricky. You have to move the circles in such a way that each segment is powered by a beam. The keyword here is each. One beam and one beam only per core segment, okay? Once everything is lit up properly, the system will reboot. Got it? Give it a shot. Good job. This core wasn't too complex, but rebooting the advanced hardware in the rest of the building will require more work.
The assassins would have you believe that Al-Mualim was a great mentor who became corrupted with greed, and that he schemed with the Templars to acquire an apple of Eden. I see instead a shrewd and cunning leader, a man who used his best assassin, Altair ibn Lahad, to eliminate his conspirators in order to keep the apple for himself, so that he could use it to enforce world peace. While it must be stated unequivocally that Al-Mualim was not a Templar, it is interesting to me that his vision of peace was more in line with Templar philosophy than assassin. In the past, both sides had the same goal, that of peace. Our only difference was how we chose to achieve it. Had Al-Mualim not been killed by Altair and allowed to carry out his plan, perhaps we would not be fighting now. It was only after Altair reformed the Brotherhood with its new ideals of free will that the conflict truly escalated and spread across the planet. For if the so-called wise man of the mountain can see things from our point of view, surely the same can be said for other assassins.
Very interesting. So I will say that I definitely, when I first played Assassin's Creed 1, and oftentimes when I replay it, like when I'm older, I still consider Al-Mualim to be probably the hardest boss in the game. And that's because of how kind of difficult it is to avoid getting hit. But he's definitely like the really interesting antagonist, kind of like the first, really the first antagonist of the series that had like such a.
Okay, so I'm not sure you were supposed to see that. You should just get back to your Animus.
Does
Back online, you could, in theory, restore your co-workers' workstations if you know, feel like being helpful. And you could, in theory, find some more digital goodies if you know, feel like being sneaky.
so what I was trying to.
One of your coworkers
Oh my fucking god!
the elevator. If you see any tech lying around like that, grab them. There might be a clue as to who did this.
Okay, everyone done talking? Can I talk now? Oh my god!
Cormac's memories. We stand on the brink of a grand discovery.
You guys done?
I know you must have questions.
Oh my fucking god!
Or about me. For now, all I will say is that Shay's story contains the answers. Shay will lead you to a greater understanding.
Is everyone done now? Good. We're going to be spending a lot of time before we head back to the Animus, hacking every single computer and getting everything that we can do at this point. There is one thing that I want to say, and that I did say that was actually, I'll hold off on that. I know what those things are. I can just come back and get that. It's definitely a new feature. There we go.
Following the Great Purge of 2000, William Miles became the de facto leader of the Assassins. A cunning and ruthless strategist, he trained several agents who infiltrated Abstergo, including Clay Kazmarek and Lucy Stillman. In late 2012, I captured William Miles in Cairo and delivered him to Warren Vidic in Rome. Miles' son, Desmond, attacked Abstergo, killed Vidic and Master Templar Daniel Cross. He fled to a First Civilization temple in New York. On December 21st, Desmond Miles was killed inside the precursor structure. The grieving William Miles went underground and left the Brotherhood in the hands of Gavin Banks. Banks led a small team across the globe, attempting to rebuild assassin cells. We have confirmed sightings in Kyoto, Moscow, and Paris. Miles resurfaced in late 2013, and we have confirmed his involvement in the infiltration of Abstergo Entertainment Montreal by the assassins Sean Hastings and Rebecca Crane. Both Miles and Banks remain at large. Agent DaCosta has tasked the Akashic satellite Plexus to sweep the planet for traces of assassin activities. We have yet to locate them.
Interesting. So they were aware that, I guess, Rebecca and Sean ended up getting caught after the events of Black Flag. That's interesting. So there's one, that's something I wanted to say was, in relation to that, is, it's kind of surprising to me, I guess. Because, they mentioned, like, 3 locations, that, Gavin Banks led to. 2 of those locations were, I believe, locations relevant to the Assassin's Creed Chronicles. Those are games that I don't think I will ever be willing to play on this channel. And that is simply because I don't think that I will have fun with it. It's not like an issue of the game just being bad. It's an issue that I just frankly don't think, I never really thought that 2D platforming just really worked for Assassin's Creed games, so those games never really had an interest for me. But it would be kind of funny if that was actually a reference to the Chronicles games. I never actually played through all three of them to their entirety. I've only played through the first couple of missions of Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. To Christina Ulrich from Melanie LeMay, date August 1st, 2014, subject Albany de Grand Prix. I'd like to explore the possibility of a follow-up to Liberation. We found some footage of Albany's activity in New England, and it seems clear that she was still very active later in life. Ideally, I'd like a sequel to Liberation or some kind of follow-up, but I understand that's going to take some resources that we don't have right now. The quick fix option is to reuse existing assets and take a more family-friendly angle on the story. From a scrappy servant to woman dignity, employees experience a heartwarming 18th century tale of a young Creole woman as she struggles to find her long-lost mother and heal the wounds of separation forever. Additionally, the liberation of Lady Aveline might open up some revenue from women, which is a demographic I think we have been ignoring for too long now. Melody LeMay. I honestly never really...
If it was me, I'd snoop to see if there's any juicy stuff on it, but I might be a terrible person.
Is this gonna be a running trend? Or is this gonna be randomly talking to me when I'm exploring Abstergo? But what I was trying to say was I was kind of a little bit annoyed when I found out that they Abstergo is essentially like changing history, like of things from like Abstergo from memories to like fit their role or their thing, which I just didn't really care for. I just thought that was kind of, I guess, just kind of dumb, I guess. This is gonna be a little bit tricky. There we go, we got it. That was a little bit tricky.
Okay, the numbskull is in another Animus session, And I've required caffeine. All is right with the world.
Good.
This isn't really your kind of mission, is it, boss?
Every mission is important in its own way.
Still, I bet you'd rather be out with the rest of the team, hunting Sean Hastings or something.
Wouldn't you?
Hell yeah. I want a front row seat for that show.
Any word from Sorkin?
He's scheduled to update me in 43 minutes.
Good.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
What's it like, using an Animus?
I went through the Animi training program. It felt like the drills we used to do in the UT Jaeger.
You never use a normal Animus like this one? To relive your own genetic history?
Only once.
Really? Who were you?
I was a young man. On the Viking raid on Lindsey Farn.
793, northeastern coast of England. Sorry, history nerd. So, how was it?
It was summer. Good sailing weather. The monastery was a center for religious studies, and we crashed into the city like a tidal wave.
And?
We pillaged and burned. They thought we were demons. The details of the memory were so vivid. I lost myself in the bloodlust. I defeated a Saxon, a great warrior, but did not want to kill him. I invited him to join our clan.
Ah, Norse adoption rituals. The chance to sail the world with the Vikings.
Yes. A chance to see the world as it really is.
What happened then?
He wept. Then he cried out that God had abandoned his people and that nothing remained but chaos. I felt such pity for him. I killed him without a second thought.
After we're done here, are we gonna have to kill the numbskull?
We will see.
So that's the one thing that I just don't like about this. You can access this as early as literally the first hour of you playing. And this conversation seems to be taking place far off into the future. Like maybe like by sequence 5, if I were to hazard a guess. And I don't know why they would put this here. I don't know why they will put this conversation here within the first, where you can access the first hour of the game when it seems to take place later on. I just don't get that. To Ajay Rana from Melanie LeMay, date August 24, 2014, subject Vija AI. Vija AI? Hello Ajay, it looks like we'll be able to use the Animus tech to create a digital version of Monima Das to finish production of Divisia AI. My condolences again to your resilient cast and crew. If nothing else, we'll be able to give Monima the glamorous send-off she deserves. When it's done, I'd like to talk about using my sword tech to remaster other traditional forms of entertainment, concerts or sporting events, for example, into fully immersive Animus experiences. Best, Melanie LeMay. I will say that I've never heard of Divisia AI before, so I'm slightly curious as to what that is. Wait, did you see it? Oh no, that's a visor. I thought that was a tablet. I mean, as much as I like these puzzles, I do kind of wish we got something different. Just to mix it up a bit.
Haytham Kenway remains a controversial figure for me. I have great respect for him. After all, he was the Grand Master of the Colonial Rite, charged with finding a precursor site. Haytham was cunning and ruthless, but he had a streak of emotional weakness that ultimately triggered his downfall. He lost his father when he was a child, and the British Grand Master Reginald Birch raised him to become a Templar Knight. Haytham eventually learned that his father, Edward, had been an assassin. That he chose to stay a Templar, rather than follow in his father's footsteps, indicates to me that he believed he was already on the right path. When Haytham discovered that Birch was the one who murdered his father, he and his sister killed him in revenge.
Oh, that's interesting.
I believe this was the beginning of his downfall. Templars kill for efficiency, not petty emotions. When he discovered that his son Connor was an assassin working against him in the colonies, the same emotional weakness stayed his blade. A pity Connor did not show him the same mercy.
Huh. That's something that I either did not know or I simply forgot about, but it's interesting how Haytham and his sister actually killed the person that killed their father, so that's kind of interesting. That is... Guess I don't have the security clearance for that. Thought I had security clearance of 1. If you hear a dog barking, I really do apologize for that. I can't do anything about it.
Hey, boss. Calling from Germany?
Yes, I am in Essen, searching for an artifact called the Ankh of Isis. Can you tell me anything about it?
Give me a minute to fire up my machines here. Okay. Not much. There's an obscure file from the data dump scanner that mentions it. It was allegedly 14th century Germany, where an assassin named Lucas Zergberg fought a Templar offshoot called the Brothers of the Cross. How original.
That's the file that led me to this bland shit pile. Is there anything else? Anything outside of Abstergo official records?
Nobody's ever seen the thing. There's all kinds of stories about its history. From Roman Gallia, Egypt during the Middle Ages, and even a cell of modern-day assassins. Oh. And it apparently raises the dead.
Is there any evidence to support this?
None at all. You know what I think? I think this is bullshit the assassins are spreading around so that people like us waste our valuable time sniffing after it. Smells like a trap.
Agreed. Keep an eye out for new information about the Ankh. While it may not lead to an artifact, we may be able to follow the data back to some assassins.
You got it, boss. Where are you off to next?
Cuba. I'm going to excavate the observatory.
Interesting. So they did find the observatory after the events of Black Flag. I guess that makes sense. It already had the location from reliving Edward's memories. I don't know if they are able to use it the way that Laureano Torres and Black Bart use it in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. To ML Bodrot, I don't know how you pronounce that name. I'm probably butchering it. From Melanie LeMay, date July 16, 2014. Subject, Ezio Auditory. Hi, ML. I agree that Ezio's shady character makes him unsuitable for a leading role. Bullshit, he is the most popular protagonist. So maybe we can take him out all together and create a virtual tourism feature. Something like travel to the Italian Renaissance for a taste of fine wine, free thought, and filthy hearts, as Abstergo Entertainment shows you the true meaning of enlightenment. attend wild parties, witness spectacles unseen for 500 years, and rub elbows with the most famous nerd the world has ever known, Leonardo da Vinci. I'm also considering a series focusing on some notable serial killers of history. Ezio certainly qualifies. Anyways, have a think and let me know what you come up with, Melanie LeMay.
Sorry, but this is a restricted area.
Okay, I think that's everything we can do. So let's head back.
It has been a long time.
Achilles.
Adewale, how go things in the West Indies?
Very poorly, I'm afraid.
Your countenance tells me we should discuss this. Come.
Who's our visitor?
That's Adewale. Who's a slave who freed himself, and hundreds of his brothers in the West Indies. That man's a living incarnation of the Creed.
See?
You join me for some practice?
Soon. I've got other business first.
Tell me what happened, old friend.
It was terrible, Achilles. The ground shook, and the ocean waves crashed over Port-au-Prince.
How many were lost?
Thousands. No family was left untouched.
I hate to bring up practical matters at a time like this. But did Macandal's man complete his task before the earthquake hit?
I cannot know. Vendredi has not been found. He was a strong Maroon, one of Macandal's best students.
Such a shame. So we cannot know if he found the site.
Indeed. But if there was a temple under the waves, I doubt it is still standing.
And the artifacts that showed the way?
Stolen. The Templars broke in during the chaos. They seized the manuscript and precursor box. I gave chase on the sea, but lost their trail when they reached New York.
We must consider what to do next.
Yeah, let's go. Mention Macandal.
I heard that Liam's waiting for you.
Alright.
Seen him yet?
I mentioned Macandal. Macandal is a character from Revelations, I believe. Revelations. Liberation. Fun game. I'm kind of curious as to what significance is considering Albany would have killed him. No, she wouldn't have killed him.
You are late.
Oh, what did I miss?
Only the first hour of training.
We're always training, Kisagawase.
And will continue to do so.
Do not waste your words. Shay abhors improvement as much as cats abhor leashes.
Hey.
A pity. The boy has so much potential. But so little discipline.
All right. All right. What would you have me do?
Well played.
So let me check to see if there's any optional objectives from this.
So, what's the challenge today?
Shooting straight and true. Here, you can use these.
These are yours.
Well, I want you to have half a chance of succeeding. Go on. Shoot these targets. You can take your time. Not too much. More work after this. Reload. Anyone can hit targets standing still. Let's see how you do on the run.
Did I get it?
Well done, Shay. Keep it up. You're doing all right, Shay.
I don't know if I got it. I think I was a little bit too slow. I'm actually gonna restart the memory because I think I was too slow. I need to do it in under 40 seconds.
It has been a long
So unfortunately, I can't actually skip this.
Achilles.
It's dumb.
Adewale, how go things in the West Indies?
Very poorly, I'm afraid.
Your countenance tells me we should discuss this. Come.
Why can't I skip this?
Who's our visitor?
That's Adewale, who's a slave who freed himself, and hundreds of his brothers in the West Indies. That man's a living incarnation of the Creed.
See?
My dogs are barking
Soon.
again?
I've got other business first.
Really do apologize for this. My dogs are going absolutely apeshit right now. It doesn't look like my mic is picking it up.
I hear Mistress Hope was looking for you.
You are late.
So, what's the challenge today?
Shooting straight and true. Here, you can use these.
These are yours.
Well, I want you to have half a chance of succeeding. Go on. Shoot these targets. Take your time. Not too much. We've more work after this. Reload. Anyone can hit targets standing still. Let's see how you do on the run. You're almost there.
I'm just gonna say I got it. It is 60.
Well done, Shay. Keep it up. You're doing all right, Shay. Don't let the others vex you.
God damn it, I don't think I got it. Because I did 60 seconds to start. And I think I got 19, so I need to reload it again. I also should have probably tested the reload checkpoint, but I'm worried if I do that, it'll put me right back to where I started. So unfortunately, right back to where I was, because technically finishing learning from Liam actually gave me a checkpoint.
It has been a long time.
Achilles.
Adewale, how go things in the West Indies?
Very poorly, I'm afraid.
Your countenance tells me we should discuss this. Come.
Who's our visitor?
That's Adewale, who's a slave who freed himself, and hundreds of his brothers in the West Indies. That man's a living incarnation of the Creed.
See?
You join me for some practice?
Soon. I've got other business first.
Okay, so let's try this again. This time, the problem that I'm having is free running thing on 360 is not the easiest thing to do. It definitely feels like it's a lot smoother when you're using a better controller. Ideally, this. The issue that I'm having is I need to like push down hard on the right trigger in order for Shay to go full sprint. I also, platform is also very finicky on the Xbox 360 version. I definitely remember it being more smooth on the Series X version. It's just I was literally holding down the right trigger and he wasn't actually sprinting, so it's just really stupid. But the platforming itself is also kind of finicky in this game because it's just not consistent. Like I kind of fucked up like scaling that tree twice.
So, what's the challenge today?
Shooting straight and true. Here, you can use these.
These are yours.
Well, I want you to have half a chance of succeeding. Go on.
Shoot these targets. Take your time. Not too much more work after this. Reload. Anyone can hit targets standing still. Let's see how you do on the run. Come on, hurry up.
There we go, we got it.
Well done, Shay. Keep it up.
You're doing all right, Shay. But don't let the others vex you. They mean well. They'll never show it.
It's about time you showed up.
Far be it from me to keep a lady waiting.
I'm no lady here. And don't you forget it. I'm your teacher. And you're better.
Well, some of that is true at least. What should we be doing?
Exploring a myriad ways to end a life. You two! Make yourselves useful and watch Shay. Can you kill without being noticed? Surprised.
I'm getting to reload because that's just so fucking stupid. It's just inconsistent because I wouldn't let me like climb into that tree.
It's about time you showed up.
Far be it from me to keep a lady waiting.
I'm no lady here. And don't you forget it. I'm your teacher. And you're better.
Well, some of that is true at least. What should we be doing?
Exploring a myriad ways to end a life. You two! Make yourselves useful and watch Shay. Can you kill without being noticed? Top form, Shay. Huh, a classic haystack. Hide in it, and surprise your target when he gets close. You certainly know how to handle yourself. Stay low and stick to the brush. Be patient and you might hit your target.
I don't know why that didn't count.
Stay low and stick to the brush. Be patient and you might hit your target.
Am I so good for that? He was alerted to me, but he didn't detect me. That's the difference.
You certainly know how to handle yourself.
There you go. We got it.
You did better than I expected. Have your skills actually grown, Shay? Do not get a swelled head over it.
Learn from Gasego Wase.
Shay, follow me. It's time you learn to survive in the frontier.
I think I've been managing well enough so far.
Perhaps. But there is more I can teach you.
Now, why could I climb through these trees here, but I couldn't, like, during Hope's trial? Like, it wouldn't even let me, like, go.
Climb back up.
Wouldn't even let me go into the, thing. I honestly kind of forgot.
I am waiting.
Well, you just have to wait a little bit harder. I guess maybe it doesn't really matter. I was gonna say I kind of forgot I need to hold right trigger and A in order to free run, but I think that's been patched for. It's not been a thing for a while.
It is time for the hunt. Use all your senses together. Killing should not be meaningless. We must use what nature gives us. Good. Now to use what you have taken.
Crafting. Pistol holsters. Confirm.
With these, you can keep your pistols close. Achilles has one more thing to show you.
Yeah, let's go. I'm honestly not. There are a couple missions coming up that I'm not really coming up in the near future. I think the first mission that'll give me difficulty maybe in like sequence 4 or sequence 5. But there are a couple missions in this game that I just don't particularly like, and it's not so much because it's difficult, but it's more or less because it's annoying. And there's a couple of annoying aspects in this game. But I was able to 100% this game once before on the remastered version. I can do it again.
You've become quite the marksman.
Generous gift. Thank you, Mentor.
My ship awaits, Achilles. The people of Haiti will make good use of your supplies. I trust you will retrieve what has been lost.
Lost? The Templars stole 2 precious artifacts. A manuscript of ancient wisdom and a box that allows one to understand its language.
I have tracked the Templar as far as this coast, but I fear the rest is up to you, my friend.
Farewell, Adewale. Whoever controls the artifacts can access precursor sites of power. We must recover them, or none are safe.
%. Now is a good time to check to see what our progress is. We got 100% the first one, that's good. And we know we got 100% here. This is really the one thing that I wanted to go back and check, because I actually had a moment where I actually failed to kill all the guards at one time, because I thought that I could do the ship before I could kill those 2 guards standing side by side. Because they're kind of in a weird position, and I was worried they're going to detect me if I got out of the bushes. But once you kill the guards on the ship, then the cutscene plays and the sequence is over. So I was kind of worried that I might have missed an objective, either kill British guards or remain undetected for some reason, but I'm glad we got them both. We do have a lot of entries to take care of, but we will hopefully be able to do some exploring very soon. And once again, as soon as we get access to a free roam, we're going to be doing a lot of exploring. We're going to backtrack to that area that we went through once before, and we are going to backtrack to, and we're going to be exploring some new locations. We're just going to clear out one major area.
Where to? Wherever Templar affairs lead us.
Liam, it's not like you to set out without a plan.
Plan or no plan. We choose our own battlefield. And hey, we know most of these when we're at sea.
Right you are. Let's set sail.
I'm hoping this doesn't put me into a mission, because I'd like to be able to explore. Okay, good. Let's see what we have on our map. So where I think I'm actually going to go is actually clear out this area first. And then we will fast travel all the way over here and clear out this area that we started. Before we go back and explore the others.
Top Scarlet! We only have one lead, Shay. Let's hope it brings us closer to the artifacts.
So Achilles tasked you with this mission?
No. He tasked me to task you. Need to find what was stolen from Macandal, Shay.
You have to recover the precursor box of manuscript. This is your mission.
And what's yours?
Watch your arse.
Achilles doesn't really trust me, does he?
Give it time, Shay. Do this for him. For us. You'll do much more than earn his trust.
Liam, do you know what Achilles writes about? I see him in his office all the time, bent over his papers.
He keeps records and accounts. Studies what little is known about the pieces of Eden. And of course, he corresponds with assassins on other continents.
Of course. Liam, you can be a right horse's arse when it comes to assuming everyone knows the same as you.
I cannot help if Achilles wants me to be familiar with our counterparts in Europe and elsewhere.
Said like his favorite son.
Connor's his favorite and only son.
Then Achilles is heir. Connor may inherit the house, but you'll be mentor.
We'll see.
Whatever you say, Prince Regent of the Assassins.
You call me that again. I'll throw you in the ocean.
Hey, everyone done talking? First location of the day.
All down! All down!
Let's see what this location has in store for us. Glace Bay. Now we do have something here that we cannot access. I am assuming it is either a hunting mission or it is a assassin interception, which we cannot access just yet. Now, I do sort of remember this area. Remember, I didn't actually come here until a little bit later, like after I became a Templar. Apparently fire burns. One of 3 chests found.
You don't get to decide when we are done with you. Halt!
There we go. Okay, so let's go around. We will loot up. I do want to check the crafting thing because we have beavers and wolves here. Start with beavers first. We need 1 beaver pelt at least. We need 2 beaver pelts at least. We need 3 beaver pelts at least. And that's it. So we need 3 beaver pelts. There's, I thought there was wolves. There's beavers and deer. So what do we need deer for? We need at least 1 deer pelt. 2, 4, 5. Actually, I don't think we're gonna mess with hunting now. I think we're gonna wait until we actually get the stuff. But we are going to clear this area out. If we do find any beavers, great. We can get them then. But we're not gonna go out of our way to get it. Looks like we are actually gonna be grabbing it. At least 2 of them. We have a lot of stuff that we can craft. We can technically craft, but we don't have it unlocked yet. That's why I want to just wait until we get it now, until later. We currently have 607 euros, looks like. Okay, so let's look around and go to a different place. We have 3 more stuff to get. I will say that this game, now that we are doing some exploration, I've never really... This game has an interesting concept in the sense that it essentially is the first game where you actually play as a Templar, but it does have its problems, and for that reason, this game doesn't really rank highly for me. And I'll discuss why. I guess to explain that briefly why is they don't really do a good job explaining, doing like an inverse thing for the Templar, for like a Templar protagonist hunting assassins, because they essentially did a role swap where the assassins were the Templars and the Templars were the assassins, essentially. And I'm literally holding RB to look at the thing, and it's not coming through. Okay, so we just are missing the one thing. You can see me holding down and it's flickering. That's all we can do for now.
We only have 1 lead, Shay. Let's hope it brings us closer to the artifacts.
So Achilles tasked you with this mission?
I already heard that before. They were just kind of repeating themselves. I will say that one of the things I do like about this game is essentially the exploration and some of the mechanics introduced to this game. It does kind of make this game a little bit fun. But the problems that I have with it mainly satisfy the poor how they kind of handled like the role swap, I guess, because it's not as good as it could be. It's like they were afraid of making like a Templar good guy, and they're trying to make like an antagonist relatable and more or less good. So they literally just made the assassins look as evil as possible and make the Templars look decent. You'll see like what I mean later on, but this game just doesn't really handle the Templar conflict overall, which is why it doesn't really rank highly for me. However, of the games, this isn't even like a game that is ranked the lowest. I do consider some games to be worse than this, but there are some games that are better than this as well. I guess if there was a main problem that I have with this game, it's just, it's fun, but it doesn't really hold the same thrill and excitement as other games in the series. But I still like this game. It's just, don't take that to mean like I think this game is absolute dog shit. This game is still fun to play. It's just, it's not as good. There's definitely other better Assassin's Creed games than this. Is all I'm trying to say. Well, that was easier than I expected. I thought I saw a wolf running around, I guess not. For those curious, I will make a note at the end of the stream, like which songs I picked up. There was probably a video out there on YouTube that plays every single sea shanty in Assassin's Creed Rogue, but I will not be able to play it in this game because of copyright. So if you do want to see it, by all means, just stay tuned. If you're watching this on YouTube, stay tuned until like the end of the thing where I'm just gonna go over like all the database entries. I will show all the new songs that I picked up, and I will
Now that's booty.
I will show all the new entries that I picked up, all the new songs that I picked up, and I will do my best to if I can remember, I'll try and like find a video where I'll link the where it has plays all the songs. I'll try and link it afterwards, but in the description of this video when it's uploaded onto YouTube. But no promises. I may easily forget. I apparently accidentally found a treasure, which is interesting. Literally just walking down the thing. Let's take a look at the map. I also need to check, is this also in this area? No, it's different. 591, it's a different area. It's so weird how they had like a map and a treasure right next to each other. First location cleared. And they literally had the map and the treasure it belongs to. Literally right next to each other. It's so weird. It's such weird design. I'm not complaining.
You need to find...
Yeah, we're not gonna bother with that. Probably will not survive a POW thing. Not at this level. Actually, we're gonna hold off. And I think we will... We'll try. We'll try and clear out these areas, but I think we'll actually get an upgraded ship by doing this next mission.
Let out some sail!
I will say at times it is...
We only have one lead, Shay.
Oh my god.
Let's hope it brings us closer to the artifacts.
So Keely's tasked you with this mission?
No. Task me to task you. Need to find what was stolen from Mackendal, Shay. You have to recover the precursor box of manuscript. This is your mission.
And what's yours?
Watch your arse.
Achilles doesn't really trust me, does he?
Give it time, Shay. Do this for him. For us. You'll do much more than earn his trust.
Liam, do you know what Achilles writes about? I see him in his office all the time, bent over his papers.
He keeps records and accounts. Studies what little is known about the pieces of Eden. And of course, he corresponds with assassins on other continents.
Of course. Liam, you can be a right horse's arse when it comes to assuming everyone knows the same as you.
I cannot help if Achilles wants me to be familiar with our counterparts in Europe and elsewhere.
He said like his favorite son.
Connor's his favorite, and only son.
Then Achilles is heir. Connor may inherit the house, but you'll be mentor.
We'll see.
Whatever you say, Prince Regent of the Assassins.
You call me that again, I'll throw you in the ocean.
Oh, really? I don't have the ram? I didn't know I didn't have the ram, but I thought I did. I may actually die here. I definitely am kind of biting off more than I can chew.
Fire!
We've been hit!
Fire! Fire!
I may be able to survive this, but I'm not sure.
Brace for impact! Fire!
They've got help incoming, Captain!
He's gonna ram us.
Taking some damage!
Fire!
Warship incoming, Captain!
Break, sir! Brace yourselves!
Yeah, I'm done.
Fire!
I can't handle this. I'm doing too little damage. I'm probably just gonna let them take me out. Because I can reload and save space. I'm probably gonna do the next big mission. I'm biting off way more than I can chew.
Fire!
They're firing, sir! Take hit us!
Fire!
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm done. There's no way in hell I'm surviving this. I'm doing too little damage, and I don't have that much health.
They're
Yeah, I think it's a bad idea to explore this far early, but at least we got a location for it. I'm just gonna let him kill me. We've definitely bit off more than we can chew. I didn't realize just how weak I was. I'm in an easy area, and it's like I'm fighting hard level ships. Apart from the gunboat, it's definitely kind of surprising. Any case, since we can't handle that, we might as well just try and do the next main mission. Just kind of stupid, but I thought I could do some more exploring, but looks like I can't. Not until I'm stronger.
No. He tasked me to task you. You need to find what was stolen from Macandalche. You have to recover the precursor box of manuscript. This is your mission.
And what's yours?
To watch your arse.
Achilles doesn't really trust me, does he?
Give it time, Shay. Do this for him. For us. And you'll do much more than earn his trust.
Liam, do you know what Achilles writes about? I see him in his office all the time, bent over his papers.
He keeps records and accounts. Studies what little is known about the pieces of Eden. And of course, he corresponds with assassins on other continents.
Of course. Liam, you can be a right horse's arse when it comes to assuming everyone knows the same as you.
I cannot help if Achilles wants me to be familiar with our counterparts in Europe and elsewhere.
Said like his favorite son.
Connor's his favorite and only son.
Then Achilles is heir. Connor may inherit the house, but you'll be mentor.
We'll see.
Whatever you say, Prince Regent of the Assassins.
You call me that again. I'll throw you in the ocean.
Okay, we made it.
Douse the gallants and royals!
So, for those curious, I believe at the end of sequence 2, then you will essentially kind of switch sides. So, not gonna be the assassin for the entire level 32. Not gonna be assassin for the whole game, but
Trust me, you will sell those lobster by the ton in France. Ah, the cabbage farmer has returned. About time. We have a lead on that curious manuscript.
I'd be surprised if you can read it.
No one can read it, imbecile. This is why the Templar are taking so long with it. But one of our allies has caught a glimpse of their work.
A pirate?
A spy who worked with the pirate. We set sail for Anticosti. That should prove a good test for this floating cesspit you call a ship.
How trustworthy are the pirates?
I consider them brothers, Shay. When the time comes, they will lend aid and help us fight the Templars. If only the roast beef would realize the Templars were pulling their strings.
Are the Templars truly in control in the colonies?
Not quite, but their influence reaches far and wide.
And what about the spy we're meeting?
You need not worry about Le Chasseur. He is loyal to the Brotherhood. As it happens, he also has friends in both the French and English fleets. And he knows more about what goes on in these parts than you can ever hope to learn.
So, Liam, what can you tell me about Adewale? You obviously admire the man.
I had the honor of...
what is? Okay, we don't have an off objective yet.
I've never known anyone who'd done so much for our cause. But it's much more than that.
Adewale was already a legend before joining the Brotherhood. He was a pirate, a scourge of the West Indies, rubbing elbows with the likes of Blackbeard, Woodes Rogers, and Calico Jack Rackham.
As much sail as you can!
Okay, so I want to stop because I didn't want to get into the area.
She'll be nearby, Captain.
I want to get into the area and kind of interrupt the conversation.
Marseille, Shay. Small fishing village. There, Captain. An English vessel.
and she looks to be in trouble. That's fine indeed. Perhaps we should aid her journey to the bottom of the sea.
Now, let's not be too hasty. She's full of crown cargo. Take a look through your spyglass and see for yourself.
Pretty sight. I say this is a good day to lighten King George's pockets.
Be careful. A few shots should be enough to cripple her. Too much damage and she'll go down with all souls and all spoils.
We can board and loot her before the crew knows what hit them.
The Royal Navy, sir! They seem to be on their own! Awaiting orders, sir! Brace!
Be careful, Captain! Bloody cowards! Use explosive shot the slayer! Brief it all, tops!
He literally blew himself up with his own explosive barrel. What a fucking dumbass.
Loose all and trim sharp to the wind. All sails loose. Ease off the wind. Studs out. Let's get moving.
I almost had him too. It's just one more barrage and it would have gone down. He just... It didn't help that I ran into it, but that's honestly kind of dumb.
An English vessel, and she looks to be in trouble. That's fine indeed. Perhaps we should aid her journey to the bottom of the sea.
Now, let's not be too hasty. She's full of crown cargo. Take a look through your spyglass and see for yourself.
Pretty sight. I say this is a good day to lighten King George's pockets.
Be careful. A few shots should be enough to cripple her. Too much damage and she'll go down with all souls and all spoils.
We can board and loot her before the crew knows what hit them.
British vessels! Just that ship! Kill away! Brace! They've hit us, sir!
Break up fire! Damage report! Crews up! These are sticks!
Now's the time. Let's board her.
Okay.
Show them what's for, Captain. Come on, men. The spoils are ours. For the Morrigan.
There you go.
The sea between here and Anticosti is rough, Captain. We should strengthen the Morrigan before going any further. There's a harbour master stationed nearby. We'll spend our new wealth on improvements. I didn't realize there was a brotherhood in Haiti.
Yes. Francois McCandle is their mentor. He gathers many of his assassins from the Maroons.
Those are escaped slaves and their children, right? Is this the place?
I think I interrupted it. Whoops.
The fishermen and their gear. Aye. Per se and fishing go hand in hand. But it will serve our purpose well enough. The French fish these waters first, but King George is laying claim to more every year. The locals are caught in the middle.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt the conversation, but that's fine.
Into the wind. Anchor.
This will be the first of many upgrades that we will get for the Morrigan.
service can I provide you?
Okay.
Rum bit of business, that.
Again, we are gonna reserve exploration for free roaming, so if you want to see me explore this town, we're gonna have to hold on. Plus, we can't even do everything until later in the game. That's another reason.
We should resume course to Anticosti, Captain.
Indeed. The chasseur is waiting for us.
The sea between here and Anticosti is rough, Captain. The Morrigan seems sturdy enough for the challenge.
If you are curious about how long it generally takes to 100% this game, according to howlongtobeat.com, it takes about 39 hours to 100%. We'll see if I can do it in a faster time.
Ships ahoy! More fishermen from Persay. The foe patrols these waters closely, Captain. Enemy ships!
They're sinking the fishing boats.
You must believe those fishermen strayed into their waters.
Scalpers must pay. And would you look at that? Standing right in our way to Anticosti. What say you? We sink every last one of them?
For once, I find myself agreeing with you, Shay.
Stranger things have happened.
Looks like trouble. Captain!
Fire!
Here it comes! Taking a hit! We'll break up. Damage report.
Fire!
She's breaking up!
Fire!
Keep off the top!
Fire! Fire!
Firing, sir! The hell, Shay! We'll break up. Careful, Captain. They can fire many volleys.
All in the Johnson! That's the last of them.
Well, I didn't mean to do that, but that works.
Will your friend the spy be
I
waiting
literally
for us?
was not even paying attention to that iceberg.
The chasseur has more information about the manuscript.
Maybe he'll have the whole thing figured out for us.
And maybe I'm Emperor of Rome.
Ave Caesar.
I love that line. Ave Caesar. I'm going the wrong way.
Skies. A man out on the ocean is as free as a man can be. What do you say, Liam?
We're out here for a reason, Shay. Mind your duty.
Well, what's the point of freedom if you cannot breathe deep and enjoy it?
The Templars stick to this continent like tar. I won't feel liberated until we pry them off.
Seems to me we should just talk to them like men instead of skulking around.
And would you smile and wish them a good day as they lay their boot on your neck?
Of course not.
They're murdering bastards who want to control the world and everyone in it. Never forget.
And we have nothing in common with that, of course.
There's an interesting theory I watched of Assassin's Creed Rogue where I can't remember who I was watching.
The chasseur should be there. And with any luck, he will know where to find that manuscript.
But they said something about the assassins being the reason why Shay left. Like they pushed him away from their order. Just some scenes I can see that.
Getting close, Shay.
Clue up! Clue up!
Dock the ship here, Captain. We've arrived at Anticosti Island.
Hey.
The rum
Don't know how much longer. I'm assuming I'm about ready to finish this mission. But I don't know how much longer I will be playing this, I guess.
Take a look at this. I borrowed these plans from a Royal Navy ship of the line.
Like at least for today.
Like nothing I have ever seen.
Good. We could use some more powerful weapons. Le Chasseur, allow me to present our associate, Shay Cormac.
Gentlemen, I have news. On this same ship, I spied the manuscript you seek. It was written in an exotic language I did not recognize and was full of drawings, plants, and animals out of an opium drain.
Were there no charts, no maps?
No. There may have been some kind of code, but neither I nor the roast beefs could ken
Where's
it.
the manuscript now?
The man who brought it said a man named Washington sent him.
I know that name. He's an important Templar, isn't he?
He is. Lawrence Washington has great ambitions that Templars have helped fulfill. Shay, let's return and find him. You, sir, have our thanks.
One, two, 100% sync. Okay, so actually puts us here. I think this is actually a more reasonable location. To actually 100% because I believe River Valley is typically easier than North Atlantic. So let's fast travel to here. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I think we're gonna like 100% like the first area of Albany before, or at least 100% as much as we can before we end the live stream, because we have about an hour left and it seems like just enough time to 100% 3 areas. If there is one thing that I will say, it is that I don't have an idea of how many live streams it will take for me to 100% this game. However, one concern that I have is I may encounter the same issue I had with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, where I have an achievement that's glitched and I cannot earn it related to the story. If that happens, then I will probably refer to that as a one video and get it when I have time.
Wherever this Lawrence Washington does is ours.
If it is...
You're finally getting into the spirit of things.
He's a Templar and a politician. What's there to like?
Good. Hoist anchor.
If it is something ridiculous...
Get off ordering us around like that. We're assassins, same as him.
He's more experienced and he knows these waters better, Shay. That makes him in charge in these parts.
Well, he commands me around back at the homestead too. Is he a truffle pig to know land better than me?
Show some respect, Shay.
He ought to respect me, Liam. I stick my neck out as much as any of us.
Yeah, twice as often it seems. That's just the thing. Chevalier hangs back and thinks before making a decision. His experience has earned him that right.
I wonder how much more experience I'll need before I can decide when to wake up or take action. I swear, Liam, sometimes I feel I was more grown up when we were children. We slept rough and scrounged for meat, but I...
Sorry, is this a location?
We decided
we're gonna hold off on getting Uncharted stuff until after we're able to clear out the area more efficiently. We'll be able to like target forts and things owned by the assassins, and once we do that, we'll have the entire area unfogged. That's the only time when I'll just go around and find Uncharted things. I'm not gonna go out of my way. I'm not gonna go out of my way to find every chest I see just yet, but I will be doing it when it's more convenient. There is one thing that I will say that we will not be able to do everything we can do in Albany, and that is because of this location right here. This has a gang headquarters, which we won't be able to access until we are in like sequence 4 or something. That's the only thing that I will say that we likely will not be able to do. There's also a couple of quests that we don't have access to, and we won't have access to until we get further along the story. Like, case in point, assassin interceptions. I'm actually getting like really thirsty right now, but I think I'll hold off for another 15 minutes. Well, it kind of put us in a weird spot, but we are going to be starting at Greystone. We're kind of going to go into a little bit of a loop.
Loose mainsails! Loose all and trim sharp to the wind! Stunsails out!
Over there, Captain. The fishing...
Souse the royals and tops!
French took over after it was ransacked by bandits.
Haul down and clue up!
Anchor away!
So we have two things that we can't do here, but we can do everything else. Trying to figure out how to get to that viewpoint.
Potier! Sors des buissons, crapule!
How do I get up there? I literally don't even understand. Maybe up here? Yeah, that's probably it. I would like to start with the viewpoints first, just so I can get a lay of the land. Thinking, I know we are up to 10%. Let's actually go on and check the progress tracker. We're at 6%, so we're not far in progression, but we're getting there. I mean, I wasn't like expecting it to be like, I don't know, something crazy. But, I wasn't expecting anything crazy. But, I was just kind of curious as to see where I'm at. This is also something else that we can't do just yet. You might see a lock on this tavern. We can't get building upgrades until like Sequence 4, I think. Let me also go ahead and check to see what I need for my first health upgrade. We need a haircut. We can actually do that here. I will say that I really do have a soft spot for these older Assassin's Creed games, like the games of this style. For those of you who are unaware, I'm not really a big fan of the RPG series. I honestly, apart from Assassin's Creed Origins, I consider Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Valhalla to be two of the worst games. And that's simply because I feel like that the decisions they made and design just doesn't really work for an Assassin's Creed game. And to explain more about what I mean, it never really made much sense to me why, if you're really reliving history, it never really made much sense to me why, since you're reliving history, you have to worry about choices that change the outcome of the story. Like, you're reliving history, you're using Animus to view historical events. You should not have to worry about like changing the outcome of the story just by choosing to kill or spare someone. That just kind of ruins the experience. Assassin's Creed games should be like set in stone. It should be a linear storyline. And I guess the main problem I have with the RPG games is the fact that they just went overboard with the storylines, with the RPG elements, that they kind of lost sight with what the Assassin's Creed used to be at its core. And it's just not really the same. It's not really the same as it was. And while I do appreciate that Assassin's Creed Valhalla did try and bring back social stealth, they did not do it well. And it's, in most situations, you can get away with just like attacking everyone in sight. And it just kind of, in some situations, most situations, like stealth is essentially irrelevant. And for Assassin's Creed game, that's a really bad thing. It's with Assassin's Creed Valhalla in particular, I just don't really care too much for the decision they made with Eivor's character. Because I felt like his character was a huge missed opportunity where they could have made it so that what's his name? They could have made it so that Eivor had like a huge like moment where he realizes that the assassins were joining the assassins would actually be a good thing, and he gets inducted, or is inducted the right word? He is brought into the assassin brotherhood, and I feel like that will make him a stronger character instead of just making him like a mindless Viking, I guess. And it's just kind of really disappointing in the direction they went, because I feel like they could have, like, Valhalla could have been like a really good Viking game. Could have been a really good Assassin's Creed game. But I feel like he can't have it be both. And it's just, there's so many people that just consider Assassin's Creed Valhalla to be like the best Assassin's Creed game. But as someone who has played every single Assassin's Creed game apart from the Chronicles games and the games made for DS, Nintendo DS, I do not consider Assassin's Creed Brotherhood to be Assassin's Creed Valhalla to be one of the best Assassin's Creed games. I do consider there to be better ones than that. I need to blow my nose, so I'm gonna mute my mic. Sorry about that. I kind of had really had to take care of that. Otherwise, it would just bother me for the remainder of the 40 minutes I'm gonna be streaming. I don't know if like anyone really like shares my opinion on that, but it's something I've been giving a lot of thought to. And what I mean by it can either be a good Viking game or a good Assassin's Creed game, but it can't be both. It's because they already tried both, and it's clear that it doesn't work. Because they tried to blend both Assassin's Creed and and Vikings into one game, but it just kind of like kills the experience, because it really just kind of kills the experience because it's like they tried to how do I phrase this? So what they did in Assassin's Creed Valhalla is they just kind of made like the assassin stuff like sort of like playing in the background, where it's not really as relevant in the story until you get to it's not as relevant in the story until you get to a certain point, and it's just you get like a hidden blade like as early as the very first sequence.
But can you hunt like one?
If we could call it a sequence. But it's just gonna go ahead and start this and I'll continue talking. It's just not really enjoyable to me, I guess. Because they make it a point where you had to like kill a point where I had to kill the Order of the Ancients, and they brought back confessions, which I'm really happy about. But the problem with that is it's not really, while they do kind of bring back trying to find another deer. But they do kind of bring back like horror assassin elements. It's just not really implemented well. And it's just most people when they're playing with this game, because they like model their RPG games after this format, the format of it's okay to go Rambo and insane. Most players wouldn't really care about that kind of stuff, which is kind of unfortunate. We got 2 minutes to kill 2 deer. Okay. There you go. And we're done. Moving on. So I guess if I were to, now that we're done with me being hardcore folks, if I were to give like an example of this, is they have like an entire game mode where you explore like old Assassin ruins. And while that was probably my most favorite part of the game, just exploring like old assassin hideouts, I did feel like it was a huge missed opportunity to have some development with even I want to say Ezio with Eivor's character. It was a huge missed opportunity with Eivor's character for him to experience some form of growth where he took away my deer hides. Where he just kind of learns something about the assassins and he becomes like interested, like after he reads like, say like you're forced to read like key lore entries of the, like sort of like the tenants or like important documents detailing like the actions of notable assassins in those bureaus. Say it's required for Eivor to interact with something like that. And say that once he does that, he starts to become interested in the assassins. I feel like having him like show interest in them and then eventually kind of joining the assassins by the end of the playthrough will kind of make it like a stronger game and actually relate to the title and the theme of the game. And it's just, they didn't really go that route, and I feel like because of that, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is just kind of like a weaker experience overall. There's also the problem with I kind of have a problem with the whole Basing reveal, because I felt like that it was, while I am slightly interested in the reveal, and I'm trying to be vague because it's still like somewhat of a new game and I don't want to spoil anyone who hasn't played it. While it does kind of, the reveal does kind of interest me, it's not something that I'm particularly fond of, and that's because it, the choices that they make in that, it's because the choices they made with handling Basim's character and the reveal they had just kind of makes it appear forced. And there was a time when this type of reveal would have been interesting, I say, like 10 years ago. But the fact that we literally had like an entire DLC in Assassin's Creed Odyssey just detailing like all this information on these people, and again, I'm trying to be vague, even though I probably could tell what I'm talking about. It just feels, it just kind of loses the impact because I feel like we know too much at this point, and they kind of like lose the mystery. And while I am excited for the upcoming Assassin's Creed games, there are some concerns I have for it. And at this point, the game that I'm most worried about is Assassin's Creed Jade, which is the mobile game. Because there was already a mobile game that released for Assassin's Creed, and it's called like Assassin's Creed Initiates or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it's like a sort of like a miniature like combat game, and I can't remember what it's called, but I think I don't know if I tried it. Usually those type of games are not really for me, but it definitely, I definitely feel that feel a little bit concerned about that game's doing well, because of the fact that there are many mobile games that game developers that tried to create that I guess didn't really work. And though I am impressed with the visuals, I'm a little bit worried about the setting, because they kind of have a rough history with ancient settings, and they're going to another ancient setting.
Wish to remind citizens to be on the lookout for grave robbers.
I'm just a little bit worried. I am excited for, I am slightly more interested in Assassin's Creed Hex and Assassin's Creed, what's that game called? There's 4 games that was announced. I'm actually legitimately, I can't remember. I can't remember what those games are called. Oh, another game that I am slightly interested in, but also I may actually pass for the first time, is Assassin's Creed Mirage. The reason why I'm passing is I was never really much big of a fan of Basim as a character, but I may play it just because I never really missed a new release for Assassin's Creed. But I'm not really too sure of that. Codename Red is the one that I'm also really interested in. But, the other game that I'm also interested in is Project Invictus that was announced. I think that's a live service Assassin's Creed game, but I'm thinking that I want to live stream that game when it comes out. But I haven't really made any decisions yet. But if I do live stream it, it will probably I'll probably be like streaming it like multiple days in a week if I can. Problem is I may be working then, like actual like 9-to-5 job, but it is something I do want to do one of these days. Okay, there's asshole. So we're going to wait until the thing respawns. Something interesting about this location is I believe it's connected, there's like a horror story, I guess. Not really a horror story, I can't remember what genre it is, but it's actually based off of Sleepy Hollow with this. I remember reading it in early American literature, but I had like Ichabod Crane as the main character, and something that I didn't really know at the time when I first heard about it is it does kind of evolve like a quote-unquote headless horseman. That was actually kind of... Damn it. It is actually has some connection with the Headless Horseman, but apparently like the concept of the Headless Horseman. Why is platforming so buggy? Apparently the concept of the Headless Horseman is actually kind of it's... God, I can't think. It's kind of like a fake thing because I believe that in the story it was implied that Ichabod Crane lied or made people believe that there was a Headless Horseman when really it was him just playing the trick. I'm not really sure if that's true or not. I don't know if that's the accurate translation or understanding of the story. Dude, what the fuck is up with the free running? What the absolute crap, man? Really? Like, I'll be running, I'm holding right trigger. You're supposed to go into a full sprint, and he stops right at the edge. What the fuck? Oh my god! I fucking hate the platforming in this game. On the Xbox 360, it is the absolute fucking worst. The controls for platforming are the absolute worst. On the 360, I literally had no idea the controls were a million times better on the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X. What the absolute fuck? This is not supposed to be difficult. These sea shanties are ridiculously easy. It's just platforming is inconsistent in this game. It's not me being bad, it's the controllers being unresponsive. I'm just gonna grab this chest so I can just get some progress. This is just fucking bullshit. So now you work. So far I'm at 6, 7, 8. I have a lot of hunting we need to do. Apparently we need 8 gray wolf things.
Not allowed.
Okay.
A good day's hunting.
Now let's go ahead and grab this. There we go, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. we are kind of running out of time. We currently are at 2 hours and 36 minutes of streaming. Gonna be streaming for another 14 minutes. Okay. There we go. Is that it? No, there is one chest. I love these as weapons that Shay uses. Okay, there we go. And back to the ship. Also, we got a lot of money, I think, so let's see if we can get some upgrades.
What's on your mind?
Not upgrades, but repairs.
Run bit of business.
Yeah, on to the last location. We may just have enough time to travel to that last location. I don't think we'll have enough time to actually complete it. So we are currently about 10 minutes out from in the live stream, so we'll see what we can do. We did, even though we did not get to the end sequence 1, we did make a lot of progress for regards to locations and collectibles. Next time we will for sure be completing sequence 1. We may even complete sequence 2. For those curious, I am basically gonna do a similar thing that I did in Black Flag, where I'm gonna be clearing out one area per one sequence. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's also New York, which is 11. They're gonna handle New York all in one go. Actually, I'm unsure about how I handle New York, but there's more than enough locations, areas for sequences. I think there's 12 sequences total. I may just tackle New York as one big area. We'll see. I definitely want to save that for last, because I want to wait until I have like a fully upgraded Shay, because some of the gang missions can be a little bit difficult. Where am I? Maybe we can just go around.
topsails and gallants. Twin Snake Path over there.
Some sort of cargo there, sir.
Tops, gallants, royals, studs.
Quite a rough squall, Cap.
You can see the smoke where there's a gang hideout. We can't do anything about that until we get further along the story. So you can see three things we can't do just yet. We're gonna have to wait. What we can do is pretty much everything else. So we can get the chests, we can get the viewpoints, we can get the collectibles. Well, I was gonna hold off on buying any outfits until we actually kind of get past the assassin part. But I was gonna hold off on buying any guns until we get to that point either. As well, I should say. I do kind of wonder, because one of the things that I've been kind of thinking, every now and then I see like, because every single time I stream, I see my viewer count go from 1 to 2, so that usually means that someone just dropped in and just is watching my thing. But part of me is a little bit curious, I guess, as to whether or not people join and then they just see that I'm doing collectible hunting and they just kind of go away, like, as they just don't really, as maybe like they didn't realize that I'm going for 100%. But it's just, I do have my streams labeled as 100%. I do have my streams labeled as 100%, so it's not like I'm just saying, oh, Z-Boy 896, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, whatever, Assassin's Creed Rogue, join the fun. Like, it's not like I'm doing that. Like, I'm literally label my streams as AC Rogue 100% playthrough, so. And getting collectibles in a game is a huge part of 100%. Like, if you don't get any collectible in any game that has them, you won't get to 100% by then. Maybe get to like 80 or 90 bare minimum. So I just keep on like wondering, because I see this happen all the time, and I just keep on wondering if people just drop in because they just want to see like maybe like what I'm doing, but then they see I'm going for 100% and they just lose interest. That's the only other thing I can think of, which is probably more likely.
Stop you!
The only other thing I can think of, which is probably more likely, is my commentary or my gameplay is probably not as exciting, because I'm kind of like going around like getting collectibles, and at times I just kind of forget what I'm talking about when I'm trying to talk. But until it's not like I'm doing nothing. It's not like I'm literally just going like AFK. Well, I do kind of go AFK sometimes, but it's usually when I look stuff up. But it's not like I go out of my way to. I think we need to go over here. It's not like I go out of my way to go idle while I just go watch like YouTube videos on my phone or watch the next Netflix movie or whatever. Instead of just playing the game, I'm still providing good gameplay. So it's just part of me is thinking that maybe my commentary isn't as interesting, which I can understand. Because I do kind of have a monotone voice, but it's just... For those curious, if you hold right trigger when you're standing still, press A, you can jump and spot. There are a couple collectibles that require you to do that. Something that I actually had to look up at one point. So I think once we get this Animus fragment, this is probably gonna be the last thing we do for this stream. But I do hope that this stream will probably be a little bit more entertaining than, at least maybe like a little bit more popular than, say, Sims 3 Pets, which is probably my, let's just put it this way. If you go to the category of Sims 3 Pets, it has 2 followers, 2 people actively following it. And no one really streams this game. Meanwhile, Assassin's Creed Rogue has 11,000 followers. And it has about like 20 people playing this game last I checked. So... I'm hoping that this series will be a little bit more popular than Sims 3, because at this point, I'm relying on Stardew, up till this point, I was relying on Stardew Valley to be the game that gets me viewers and gets me followers, I guess I should say. It's really like the most popular game that was streaming on this channel. In any case, if you are remotely interested in what I see today, all the games I cover on my channel will be for 100% completion. I will be streaming Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, sorry. Wow, I haven't done that in a while. I will be streaming Assassin's Creed Rogue yet again next Saturday, 1 PM to 4 Pacific Standard Time. I will be streaming, Kingdom Hearts, again, I haven't done that in a while. I will be streaming Stardew Valley for 100% completion on Sundays, 1 PM to 4 Pacific Standard Time. And I will be streaming Sims 3 Pets for 100% completion on Fridays, 1 PM to 4 Pacific Standard Time. If you are interested in games to play for 100% completion, know that I not only go for 100% in-game statistic, but 100% in achievements as well. So if you're interested in games to play that way, just be aware that it's the type of channel I am. And any further ado, thank you guys for watching. Oh, and just for those curious, we got to 14% in the database, and we got to 6% in the story. We will hopefully be bridging the gap to over 10% next stream when we complete sequence 1. But beyond that, thank you guys for watching. One second, I just started recording, but I need to do something real quick. There we go. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to a post-stream session where I go over the new entries for the database. This is also going to include the new entries for the modern day, because there's actually a new feature that wasn't a thing in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which is a mail feature. So we are going to start off by reading our mail. So, emergency manual. Internal diagnostics have detected a malfunction in the building's operating systems. This emergency procedures manual has been programmed to replace the message section of your communicator. To ensure your personal safety, please keep your communicator with you at all times. Refer to this manual as needed. Abstergo Entertainment cares for the safety and well-being of its valuable assets. Thank you for your patience and cooperation. Abstergo Industries VIPs. On rare occasions, VIPs from Abstergo Industries may be on site. They may impose on you certain requests for information or services that you feel may not fall under your jurisdiction or mandate. Abstergo Industries VIPs are to be obeyed without question or hesitation. Failure to do so will result in disciplinary action and possible termination. Communicators. Your communicator is an essential part of your daily life at Abstergo Entertainment. It should be on your person at all times, as it allows you access to various parts of the building. Should you find a communicator anywhere in the building, we recommend that you collect it and identify its owner. While the owner will face consequences for losing it, it is a mistake they will only make once. Computer maintenance. In case of network corruption, it is your duty as an Abstergo employee to safeguard not only your data, but the data of your friends and colleagues. If you see a computer or workstation left unattended during an emergency, take a moment to restore it and make sure that its valuable contents are not easily accessible to unauthorized personnel. The data is as important to us as you are. Okay, so that's all the new stuff. There is a diary. A Rude Awakening. Day 1 of repairs. My Animus session triggered a virus hidden in the Shay Cormac file. I've been tasked with assisting 2 security contractors, Violet DaCosta and also Berg. Violet knows her stuff, but what's Berg's story? Questions can wait. We have to work together to restore Helix servers. Okay, well, that's another thing I didn't know. I didn't know there's a diary. I need to check something. Oh yeah, that's right. I just saw that on the map. And it looked like that I could go in and hack some computers, but that's blocked by a level 1 security thing. If I do burp on stream, I do apologize for that. I'm drinking orange soda right now, so burping is kind of a what's the word? It's a risk when you're drinking. Burping is a risk when you're drinking soda. It's like a phrase of that, but I can't remember what it was. Database, Animus database, documents, 4 letters, Monroe. 1750, Master Washington. I am less than pleased with paltry results coming from the colonies. I have other agents around the globe searching tirelessly for pieces of Eden, and you and your motley crew are busy building a postal service. What is more, I understand that an assassin brotherhood has taken root somewhere outside of New York. This simply will not do. I'm making arrangements to transfer one of my agents to the colonies. His name is George Monroe. Although he is your better in every way, he won't be your subordinate, as you are the expert on that part of the world. However, he is there to solve your problems. Make good use of him. Be ready for further instructions. May the Father of Understanding guide you, Reginald Birch. Wasn't Reginald Birch the guy that Hatham killed? Is he still alive at this time? Troy's friends. I am slurring my words a lot, and I think it's because this soda is making my mouth just fill with saliva, so I do apologize for that. 1748, Monsieur de Abadi. I imagine you have questions about how it is you are no longer a prisoner of the British Empire. As you are deeply stupid, well, fuck you too. Let me explain it to you. Officially, your release is a minor footnote in the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle. Unofficially, I freed you. You are at best unremarkable and at worst irrelevant. Not only to your country, but to the history of the human race. Either way, you belong to me now. I am something of a businessman, and I am in need of someone unremarkable. You will soon be granted a position in the naval bureaucracy, and I will make use of what passes for your administrative skills. It certainly surpassed your skills as a naval officer. To begin, you will be my eyes and ears. Small jobs for small pay. In time, you will speak with my voice, and your rewards will also get louder. I do not expect you to understand at present. All you need to know is this. You serve a noble purpose and a Grand Master. Charles Gabriel Sever, Baron de L'Esperance? I don't know how to pronounce that. I think Sever is actually like in a Templar that you kill in Assassin's Creed Unity, so that's interesting to see that. Animus Fragmented Messages.
The fracture in Helix has gifted you my eternal presence.
So, once again, I will not be able to play these songs, in the series because of copyright. I have Shanty is disabled, but if you want to listen to the song, feel free to look up each individual title on YouTube. There may also be a video already existing up there where it has all the songs for Assassin's Creed Rogue, but the songs that we have unlocked is Blood Red Roses, Bold Riley O, Bully in the Alley, Don't Forget Your Old Shit Mates, Jolly Roving Tar, New York Girls, Patty Laid Back, Rolling Down to Old Maui, Windy Old Weather. So if you want to listen to those songs, feel free to look that up on YouTube, but I will not be able to play them in this series. People. Achilles, born c. 1710, I believe c. circa, died 1781. Achilles was born of Caribbean or British descent in the West Indies. In the mid-1730s, he was the last assassin to be recruited into the Brotherhood by its legendary mentor, Altabai. When his training was complete, Achilles was sent north to establish a brotherhood in the American colonies. Achilles married a woman named Abigail, and they had a son, Connor. Achilles established a homestead where his brotherhood could settle before expanding throughout the frontier. Excuse me. He recruited several promising colonials, including Liam O'Brien, that's definitely an Irish name, Chevalier Louis Joseph Gauthier de la Vérendrye, Kasigawase, Hope Jensen, and finally Shay Cormac to the Brotherhood. Achilles strengthened the ties between the Brotherhood and the nations of the Iroquois Confederacy, particularly the Kanien'kehá:ka. That's Connor's tribe. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Adwale, born 1692, died unknown. Born to enslaved parents in Trinidad, Adwale was sold to the owner of a prosperous plantation before his teens. He escaped by joining a group of buccaneers who raided the plantation. Ade sailed with this group of men for many years, honing his skills as a sailor. In 1715, he was captured by Spanish authorities, who decided to send Adwale to Spain, and loaded him into one of the galleons that made up the perennial treasure fleet. Thanks to a hurricane as well as a young Welsh pirate named Edward Kenway, Ade escaped, freeing more prisoners along the way. Ade and Edward commandeered a brigantine and set sail just in time to beat the worst of the storm. When the hurricane passed, Ade was free once more. Ade became the quartermaster aboard the... Yeah, the R and the M looks really close. I thought that was a typo. Ade became the quartermaster aboard Captain Kenway's ship, the Jackdaw. Operating out of Nassau for a time, they grew wealthy off their spoils and lived the lives they have always dreamed. Though Ade was a man who valued the democratic ideals of this pirate community far above the spoils they acquired while living it. And as he saw Edward Kenway fall deeper into a spiral of selfish greed and pointless glory, he wondered if there wasn't a more noble cause he might adopt to suit his ideals. In 1716, Ade first encountered the assassins in Tulum. He returned in 1719, where he spoke with their mentor Altabai and asked him many questions about their brotherhood. After hearing answers that pleased him greatly, Ade joined them. For the next 15 years, Adwale faithfully served the assassins, but in time he became increasingly troubled by memories of his past. In 1735, Ade's ship was caught in a storm, and he washed ashore near Port-au-Prince. There he met Bastien, Joseph, and Augustine de Fort, whose passion drove him to the Maroon cause. In the following years, he used his skills to help rebuild the Maroon resistance in Port-au-Prince. He fled Saint-Dominique in 1737 after killing the governor Pierre Marquis de Fayette, returning to the assassins. So this actually is, Marquis de Fayette is the person we killed at the end of the Freedom Cry DLC. That playthrough is actually on my YouTube channel, ZBoy896 Twitch Stream Archive. Feel free to check it out if you have time. Born 1732, died unknown. Hope was born in New York City to a modest family, but was placed in an orphanage after her parents died. She was adopted by a German couple who hoped to build a new life for themselves in the colonies. It symbolizes desire in the name of their adopted daughter, Hope. Barb City V. Years of hard work finally paid off for Hope's father, who saw that his business endeavors turned great profits, and her family rubbed elbows with New York's elite. But despite their wealth and best efforts to fit in, they are never fully accepted in New York's finer circles. Hope received a good education from private tutors and gradually realized that the world was unfair. In 1742, Hope's adoptive father disappeared under mysterious circumstances, never to be seen again. Later that same year, her father's former business partners took control of the family's business, leaving her adopted mother with nothing. Hope and her mother were destitute, forced to live on the streets. Hope's mother died after a long and painful disease despite Hope's best efforts at stealing food and medicine. Hope vowed never to depend on anyone ever again. Fun fact, life's not fair, but I gotta admire this girl's hustle, V. V is Violet. In 1746, Hope met Achilles, who was impressed by her survival instincts, pickpocketing skills, and strength of will. She was inducted into the Brotherhood a year later. Achilles ordered her to set up a network in New York City, and before long, Hope controlled most of New York's organized crime. That's interesting. Kasegawase, born 1730, died unknown. Kasegawase was born in Wolastoqiyik territory in what is now New Brunswick. Until his teens, he lived in a walled village surrounded by farm fields, where he practiced hunting, fishing, and various survival skills. As European hostilities grew, Kasegawase joined other men from his village as mercenaries helping the French army. In 1746, he met Achilles and Liam O'Brien, who were working with the French army on behalf of the assassins. They were impressed with his prowess and determination and invited him to join the Brotherhood. In 1749, he met Shay Cormac and became one of his instructors. Liam O'Brien, born 1726, died unknown. Liam O'Brien was born in Plymouth, Massachusetts, to Irish immigrants. After years of struggling to survive on a farm, the family moved to New York, where his father began to work for a rich merchant loading ships bound for England. Liam eventually joined him, and it was there he met a young boy named Shay Cormac, who was visiting his father in the Merchant Marine. The two boys became friends, and Liam looked after the young boy, who lived in a rough neighborhood and was showing a talent for getting into trouble. As Liam continued to work, he was shocked to learn that despite all the profits made by their employer, the employees remained underpaid and mistreated. Tensions rose between the two sides. In 1736, Liam recruited a few of his young co-workers to begin robbing their employer. However, he was caught and was forced to kill a man in self-defense. In order to protect his son, his father took the blame for the murder and was executed by the authorities. Lost Liam drifted from one job to the next, distancing himself from everyone he knew, including his young friend Shay. He kept on robbing New York's richer citizens so he could send money to his mother, whom he was too ashamed to face. In 1738, he met Achilles, who began to give him small tasks to perform, such as delivering messages to Wolastoqiyik men in Kasegawase and the frontier. Achilles' influence grew on him. He began to look up to the man, who finally managed to teach him about right and wrong, and eventually the assassins of their creed. In 1743, Liam became Achilles' first mentee and quickly learned from him. Liam helped Achilles recruit the remainder of his colonial brotherhood, Valier de la Vendrée, and I don't know how to pronounce that, and Kasegawase and Hope. In 1748, Liam found his childhood friend Shay Cormac, whose life was shattered after his father died at sea. Liam helped him get back on his feet, and the two became inseparable. Later that year, Liam was introduced Shay to Achilles, and it wasn't long before his young friend joined the assassins. Liam was tasked to keep an eye on the latest recruit. Louis Joseph Gauthier, Chevalier de la Vérendrye. Born in 1717, died alone, Louis blah blah blah, was born to a family of explorers on Île-aux-Vaches in New France. In 1735, he went on his first expedition with his father to Fort St. Charles on Lake of the Woods. A year later, he reestablished Fort Maurepas and he was rewarded with the title of Chevalier Knight from his father, who passed over Louis Joseph's older brothers to do so. He spent the next 4 years exploring North Dakota and Manitoba. In 1744, de la Vérendrye became a frontier post commander for the French government. It was around this time that he met Achilles and Liam O'Brien and helped them complete an assassin mission. In 1746, Achilles asked de la Vérendrye to join him, an offer that was gladly accepted. De la Vérendrye lost his father in 1749, and further explorations westward were disrupted by politics. There that same year, he met Shay Cormac for the first time and took an instant dislike to him. In 1752, de la Vérendrye returned to fur trading, but business did not go well for him. The Gerfault. There's seriously no thing for... Nope, one for Shay Cormac, that's interesting. Locations. Albany. The Albany region was originally inhabited by the Algonquian tribes, in particular the Mohicans and the Iroquois. Albany was claimed by the Dutch explorer Henry Hudson in 1609 and settled in 1614, and trading posts were created soon after. The British took control of the area in 1664 and reclaimed the town of Beaverwijck as Albany. As tensions rose between England and France, troops were gathered at Albany to attack the enemy colonies to the north. Colonel William Johnson rallied his allies in the Iroquois Confederacy in Albany and convinced them to declare war against the French. Isn't William Johnson the guy that we killed in Assassin's Creed 3? The British Lords of Trade suggested that the colonies meet in Albany to discuss their common defense. It was at this meeting that Benjamin Franklin first proposed a union between the colonies. I'm more of a fan of the British Lords of time. If you, nice Doctor Who reference. That's funny. I am a huge Doctor Who fan, and I approve. Not so much of a fan of Jodie Whittaker's version of Doctor, but I love everyone else. Although I've not actually watched all of the series. In specific, I've not watched all of the classic series. I got up to the third Doctor. I've not gone past him. And also about like 75% of the seasons from the first Doctor and the second Doctor is missing because the British people had the bright idea to destroy the tapes they had in the black and white era rather than keep them when they transition into color TV. So sadly, I don't think there will ever be like a reliable way for me to watch the classic series, and I kind of stopped watching the classic Doctor Who maybe about the third season of the third Doctor. I can't remember his name, but huge fan of Doctor Who. I'm really kind of happy that they made that reference. Anticosti Island. Let me just go ahead and take another drink. The French explorer Jacques Cartier was the first European to discover Anticosti. Hold on. In 1534, he originally named it Isle d'Assomption, as well as declaring it a strange and cursed island. However, by the 17th century, it was referred to as Anticosti in an attempt to mimic the name used by the indigenous people of the area. Although historically more of a hunting ground than anything else, the island was settled in 1680 when King Louis XIV of France handed over to the explorer Louis Joliet. Joliet, finding himself in possession of the largest privately owned island in the world, built a fort for his family there. Despite its size, Anticosti has never been a well-populated island, likely due to its treacherous coastline. Fun fact, over 400 ships wrecked themselves on the rocks and reefs surrounding the island, earning it the nickname the Cemetery of the Gulf. B. Anticosta hold on, I know this is really itchy. Anticosta became a territory of the British Empire as part of the Treaty of Paris that ended the 7 Years' War, and officially became part of the province of Quebec in 1867. So I guess Anticosta, judging by that knowledge, it is part of Canada. That's interesting. North Atlantic. While ancient Norse settlements have been found in Newfoundland and other parts of North America, it was not until Christopher I've never seen that spelling before. It's supposed to be the name that I am familiar with is Christopher Columbus. Is that actually how his actual name is spelled? Like his Christopher Columbo? Huh. A famous voyage in 1492 that there was insignificant contact across the Atlantic Ocean. The European powers raced to colonize the Americas. Abstergo insists on spelling Christopher Columbus like that. It has something to do with Subject 17, but beyond that, I don't know its spelling. Subject 17 is Desmond Miles, so what does Desmond Miles have to do with Christopher Columbus? Huh. I'm legitimately curious. The North Atlantic, with its colder climate, made this process difficult. The cold winters, as well as the resistance of indigenous people, resulted in the failure of many early European settlements. Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry, this just giving me the burps. By the 18th century, however, colonies were well established and trading routes across the ocean were common. Even so, the most northerly regions were still relatively unexplored, with ice blocking the way of even the most adventurous explorers. River Valley. Although explorers such as John Cabot noted the Gulf of the St. Lawrence River in the 15th century, the first European explorer to sail up the river itself was Jacques Cartier, with help from some local Iroquois. He misunderstood the Huron-Iroquois word for village Kanata, and began to refer to the larger area north of the river as Canada. That is interesting. If that is true, that's interesting to the origins of the word Canada. Huh. That's funny. So, human ignorance is the reason why Canada is named Canada. And I realized I kind of passed it. I think I skipped it. Explorers and fur trader opened up the territory. French settlements limited the westward expansion of the British, and before long they grew along with the potential scope of French expansionism. The British and French clashed frequently in the colonies, and eventually the 7 Years' War broke out in 1755. Sleepy Hollow. The exact date of Europeans settling the land is unknown, but the Dutch fought against local natives in the early days of New Netherlands. In 1655, a Dutch colonist published a document that referred to the area as Sleeper's Haven, or literally Sleeper's Haven. In 1664, the British took over the colony and renamed it New York. Really? The village would be officially incorporated as North Tarrytown in the 19th century. The anglicized version of the name did not appear until later and was not used as the town's proper name until centuries later. The village is best known as the setting of the legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. Irving's story was successful enough to get North Tarrytown to change its name to Sleepy Hollow in 1996, but not enough to make anyone named Ichabod attractive or popular. That's funny. Okay, moving on. Landmarks. Albany City Hall. Albany's first city hall was built by the Dutch in the 1660s. It is speculated that the British replaced that city hall with a larger building on the same site around 1740, but it is still referred to by the Dutch name Stadhuis? State House? I think that's Dutch for State House. In 1754, the Stadhuis was the site of the Albany Congress where Benjamin Franklin first proposed the union of the 13 British colonies. Sleepy Hollow Church. Construction of the Old Dutch Church of Sleepy Hollow was ordered by Frederick Phillips, a wealthy Dutch landowner. When the British claimed the colony, he pledged his allegiance to the crown and as was rewarded with a title and mayorship. He chose to settle in North Terrytown, colloquially known as Sleepy Hollow. The church, like the rest of the region, became famous thanks to the short story The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. Civilian fishing boats, gunboat, schooner. And that does it for all the new entries for the database. We have email, which essentially like tutorials. I'm not gonna go through all that. We have statistics, which won't tell us much because we have not done much. And we have leaderboards, which I probably can't access because Ubisoft has closed down support for this game. You can't access anything related to the Ubisoft servers. So you can't activate the initiates mode in the title screen. You can't sign into Uplay, and you likely can't access this. You also will not be able to go to the additional content thing and try and download the DLC for this game. You have to manually access it through the store. But unfortunately, we'll be kind of forced to encounter this until it says that. So that, unfortunately, we will not be able to see like any statistics among my friends because Ubisoft just closed down the support for this game. So that's kind of unfortunate. There is something I want to say, and that is, as of right now, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is the only game that still has multiplayer support from Ubisoft. Every other game apart from Assassin's Creed Unity, as I believe we can still play the multiplayer, the co-op missions for that. Every other game, you will not be able to access anything related to the multiplayer because Ubisoft has closed down the support for the multiplayer of those games. So you can't like play the multiplayer Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, you can't play the multiplayer for Assassin's Creed Revelations, and you also can't buy the DLC for the older games as well, so at least not without some trickery, I guess. That being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.